Hello and welcome to Children's Church at Home. As you know, we can't come to church at the moment, to our building, because it has to be shut to keep us all safe. So I thought we'd have church at home. So today we've got a story and a prayer and a craft activity that I hope will help you to remember that Jesus is always with us, even when we can't get to church. It's a bit cold today, but I thought I'd start in the garden because it's a wonderful time of year. You can see the flowers behind me. All winter they've been hidden in the ground, and then suddenly as the sun comes up they start to grow and the sprouts of leaves come and the flowers come out, and they are beautiful. It's amazing how things that seem all dead and dried up come into something so wonderful. And our story today is an amazing story about Jesus, whose friend had died, and everyone was so upset. But Jesus did something amazing. Let's listen to the story now. Jesus brings Lazarus back to life. Lazarus lived in Bethany with his sisters, Mary and Martha. One day Lazarus became ill. Although Jesus was their good friend, and he received a message to say that Lazarus was very ill, he delayed visiting and stayed where he was. The last time he'd been to Judea, people had tried to stone him. After 2 days, Jesus said, "Lazarus has fallen asleep. I'm going to wake him." His disciples were confused. Why go to such a dangerous place just to wake him up? He'll wake up without you. So Jesus spelt it out. Lazarus is dead. I didn't go when he was ill, because through him many will see God's glory. Hearing this, Thomas said to the others, "Let's follow him. If he's going to be stoned, we should die with him." Lazarus' sister Martha came out to meet Jesus. She said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." But Jesus said, "Your brother will rise again." "I know," answered Martha, "at the resurrection on the last day." Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me will live and never die. Do you believe this?" "Yes, Lord," said Martha, "I believe you are the Messiah, the Son of God." Then Martha's sister ran out to meet Jesus. Mary knelt at his feet crying, "Lord, if you'd been here, my brother would not have died." Jesus cried with Mary and said, "Where is his grave?" A crowd of mourners followed Jesus to the cave where Lazarus' body had been put. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days, and everyone says, "Don't open up the tomb, he'll smell so bad." But Jesus said, "Roll the stone away." Jesus prayed aloud so the crowd would hear him and know God had sent him. Then he shouted to the cave, "Lazarus, come out." Incredibly, Lazarus walked out of the tomb wrapped in burial cloths. Jesus said, "Unwrap him and let him go." And many people who saw this believed in Jesus. Story. We've just heard how Jesus raised his friend Lazarus from the dead. Martha and Mary, Lazarus' sister, were really upset and sad. Their brother was ill. They'd sent for Jesus, and Jesus took his time getting to them. But eventually Jesus got to them, and everything was well again. He was sad with them, but then he went to the tomb where Lazarus was and told Lazarus to come out, and Lazarus did. What a party they must have had that night, celebrating that Jesus was with them, but most of all, Lazarus was with them too. But I wonder whether you've sometimes felt scared or anxious or worried, just like Mary and Martha did in our story. I think the world's a bit of a frightening place at the moment. We're being looked after by lots of people to keep us safe. But we're probably all a bit worried. One of the things that helps me is knowing that Jesus is always with me, that I can share with him how worried I am, and he will come and he will help me to manage all that I need to do to make my worrying a bit less. So if you're feeling worried, you might like to say a prayer to Jesus. I'm going to say one now. Dear Jesus, we thank you that you are always with us. Help us to always come to you when we feel sad and frightened, and know that you are alongside us. Look after everyone who's feeling a bit worried at this time, and keep us all safe. Amen. We're going to make a flower, and our flower is going to help us to think about how Jesus is always at the centre of everything we do. So what you need are some sheets of coloured paper, or if you haven't got coloured paper, then use plain paper and you can perhaps decorate it later. So I've got a red sheet and a yellow sheet and a kind of peachy colour. So what I'm going to do first of all is cut out a circle. You can either draw a circle, or if you want to just cut it, do that. If you need a grown-up to help you cut, then that's fine too. So here's my circle. I then need to cut some petals for the flowers. So I'm going to cut 3 yellow ones. You could choose whatever colour you wanted to. And you're kind of cutting something that looks a bit like a teardrop. So just like that. So I'm going to just cut a few more of those. And that's 2. 3 yellow ones now, so that's my 3 yellow ones like that. So I'm going to put those to the side, and now I'm going to cut some peach ones. So again, 3 sort of teardrop shapes. 1, 2, 3. Here's the 3rd one. Then, let's put that paper out of the way. I'm going to take each of my shapes, and just on that bit up at the top of the petal, I'm going to think of some things that perhaps make me feel scared or anxious. So I might write being ill. I might put falling out with my friend. It's not nice, is it, when you have an argument with somebody? And you can carry on each of the 6 that you've got. Then, when you've finished that, take your circle and put some glue on the back of it, and then start sticking on your petals. So I'm going to put and you want to stick them on so that you can see the words that side, so you stick on the back there. So I'm going to stick on my peach coloured ones first, so it looks like that. And then I'm going to stick on the yellow one, so a bit more glue on the back. So then you should have your flower that looks like that. Now if you've got some green paper, you might want to cut a stem. So just cut yourself something that looks a bit like that and glue that to the back. And you might like to do some leaves as well. And so you start to build up your flower shape like that. Now earlier I made one where I filled all of the petals in with things that made me worried, and I did the stem and I made some leaves. So that's the completed one. And in the middle on your circle there, you want to write Jesus, because that reminds us that whatever we're feeling, when we're feeling anxious or scared, that we can remember that Jesus is here with us in the middle of it. So that's your flower done. It'd be lovely to see your flowers. So when you've made them, if you want to post them onto our Facebook page or message me the picture, and I'll put it up there. So here's my completed flower. It'd be lovely to see yours. I hope that you have a good week. Remember, if you get worried, you're not on your own. You've got the people who look after you, and you've got Jesus, who is also with you too. Next Sunday, we'll have another one of these and another craft. On our church Facebook pages, you'll also see some links. So if you want a colouring sheet or an activity sheet, you can download those. So if there's anything else you'd like to get involved in that you think we could do as church at home for children, do let me know. Bye.